Hi everyone, it's Holly Schultz from babygizmo.com. Yesterday we introduced you to the brand new Bob B Motion stroller, and today we're giving you a special feature and showing you the side-by-side differences between the Bob Motion and the Britax B-Agile. Now I did want to say the B-Agile is very dirty. I've used it a lot. We took it to Disney World last month. It's been used a ton, so don't mind a little bit of dirt on the B-Agile. Now, in case you don't know, Britax and Bob, they're owned by the same company. That's why there's so many similarities between the two strollers. But if you really get into it and look deep, there are a lot of differences as well, and we're going to show you them all today. Now, of course, the tires are different, but we will get to that in a second. Let's start with the seats. Now, the seats, they're both roomy. They're both 14 inches wide, but the seat back on the Bob, it's a little bit shorter, 1.5 inches shorter. This one's only 18 inches to the top of the seat, and this one is 19 and a half. So that's a big difference. There's also, it has the same measurement to the canopy, so your child's going to fit in it the same way. It just depends on how big the seat back is. The 5-point harness adjusts a little bit differently on each. The Britax, you go in from the back and you slide it up and down to have it grow with your child. The Bob, you do it from the front and it just, you slide the harness up and down like that. So just a little bit of difference. The place where your child puts their feet is the same, and the rest, the buckle's pretty similar too. So everything is very similar on the seats. Now, while we're down here, let's look at the baskets. Baskets are very similar. They're about the same size. They just look a little different. The B-Agile over here has a little bit more mesh on the sides, has a little bit more give, and the Bob, maybe because the Britax has been used a lot, I don't know, has a little bit more give. And the Bob over here doesn't have quite as much mesh, but they hold the same amount of stuff. The strollers have the same reclining seat. It's the exact same mechanism on both, in which you just pull down and they both go very deep, almost flat. So you got the exact same recline. You have the same, on the back here is that big huge pocket, parent pocket. It's over here on the B-Agile as well, so you got that the same. You can lift up both. Both have the mesh windows, so that is the same. So let's go up to the handlebars and the canopies. Now the handlebars, that's another difference as well. The Bob Motion has an adjustable handlebar. The B-Agile does not. And as you can see in the tallest position on the Bob, it is taller than the Britax B-Agile. It's about 1 inch taller. So that's a difference. So if you're tall or really short, you might want the Bob Motion instead because of that adjustable handlebar. Now the canopies, they are both huge. They're pretty much the same, full coverage, huge canopy. They just look a little bit different. The Bob has 2 panels and the Britax is a little bit more rounded with 3 panels. They both have the peekaboo windows. They just open up a little bit different. They both have Velcro, as you can hear that. The Bob opens up and then you stuff it underneath this mesh piece. The Britax B-Agile opens down and then you roll it up and you secure it with this little toggle here. So just a little bit different. Britax B-Agile's window is a little bit smaller, but they're both mesh to allow air to circulate through. Obviously the wheels are different, but how different are they? Now the Bob has air-filled tires that's going to absorb more bumps than the B-Agile. The B-Agile, they're hard rubber wheels. These are 9.5 inches on the B-Agile. The Bob has 10-inch air-filled tires in back. In the front, obviously, one is a 4-wheeled stroller and one is a 3-wheeled stroller. The Britax has a double wheel up here that is 6 inches hard rubber. The Bob Motion has 2 wheels and separate wheels, and they are 7 inches, again, air-filled. They both have the ability to lock straight for all terrain, but if you're going to go for playground mulch, grass, a lot of all-terrain, the Bob Motion is the better stroller. It also, the Bob Motion has a different suspension system because that's kind of what Bob's known for, sporty strollers with good suspension. So you will be able to see, I mean, you can't even miss the Bob suspension. It's there in yellow and it works a lot. Now, the B-Agile has some suspension, just not as good as the Bob. They both have the same one-step brake, very easy to do. It's the exact same brake. So those are your main, and both wheels on both strollers pop off very easily with just a touch of a button. It's the same type of thing. It's just that these are a little bit heavier on the Bob Motion. They're air-filled. They're going to absorb the bumps. They have more suspension. So that is a huge difference. It is the biggest difference between the two strollers. The fold on the strollers is the exact same Same exact button on the same exact side. You pull up the handle, and that's the same. Now the weight is different because this one, the Bob, has air-filled tires. The Bob is 23 pounds, still doable, but this one's only 16 and a half because of the hard rubber wheels. So that is a difference. They both, you know what, the Bob has a better standing fold because it has that adjustable handle. I can get this to stand, you know, when I do it right, if I put the wheel in the right position, but it's just not as easy to do as the Bob. Now, obviously, there's a price difference, right? The Britax B-Agile retails for $249 because this one is an upgrade pretty much, has those better tires. It retails for $349, so it's a $100 difference. It just depends on if you really want those all-terrain tires, things like that. Otherwise, everything else is very, very similar, just little tweaks here and there. It's the tires and the suspension system that is going to be different. Both have very sturdy frames. They're both workhorse strollers. They both take the infant car seats. They have an adapter for the universal one, and they also have the click and go ones from Britax, so you can use any of the Bob Be Safe and the Britax infant car seats. It's all the same accessories. You can swap the tray. If you have the tray for the B-Agile, it works on the Bob Motion. Again, all of the accessories go back and forth. So that's the big differences. The differences between the two, as you can see, they're very, very similar, pretty much same size. So that's just my side-by-side look at the Bob Motion versus the Britax B-Agile. Depends on what you're looking for to which is the best for you. And I'm Holly Schultz from babygizmo.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye.